What's up, everybody? Gene Fetty back at you with another episode of the All Access Podcast. Guys, it's episode number 50. We made it. Should have been there a while ago, but my summer break sort of put the brakes on that. Anyways, we made it. We are halfway to 100, and we are at the end of 2025. As I'm recording this, it's Sunday, December 28th. This will come out on the 29th. The topic for today's show, 2026 tool must-haves and some new stuff to look at. We've got MTE, the Mobile Tech Expo 2026, coming up in about a month. In fact, exactly in a month. And it's the 25th anniversary. Kevin, I think you could have planned that better, bud. Rest in peace. Anyways, just kidding. Let's dive into it. So I've got a mix of tools here. Some of them are brand new for 2025, or we're new in 25, just rolling out in 2026, aka, or also, right, the compact hub from Anson with some new compact hub tools. Some of these for really for everybody's benefit. I've got some of my just absolutely must-have tools that I have to have. I don't care if they've been around forever, if they're as simple as a little wedge or a block of wood or Dent craft dollies, right? Those are absolute must-haves in your arsenal. So without further ado, let's get started. You can see we're moving the studio around. Hopped over in front of the big old whiteboard just because I didn't feel like moving the big piece of glass that we're moving out of the peel board from the tint work. And we're trying to get back to a little bit better production value for you. So 2 cameras. We've got main camera and we've got camera 2. What's up, everybody? There's my hand. To zoom in and show you some of the smaller tools or tips or whatever we're going to be talking about. There's a lot here. Like a lot. I'm going to try not to forget everything. I'm also not going to try to go for multiple hours, but we will see. Also, quick shout out to TikTok. What's up, TikTok? We're doing a little live stream behind the scenes over here. Camera left. I think that's camera left. Camera right. I don't know. Camera over there. Anyways, what's up, TikTok? To some of the live viewers, you can see this show live. We're not live. The full replay on YouTube tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. So let's dive in. We're just going to work through this table. We'll work through this table. And I will try to keep this as cohesive as possible, but no promises. Like, there's a lot, and I honestly had to stop grabbing stuff because I think I need most of my tools. So let's start right here, right front and center. These are tried and true. These are not brand new. These are the Talon wedge from Stucky Tools. These things, as you can see in the video, are very, very well used. I keep 3 of them, just one as a backup. I always wedge my door open with 2. And with these, I like to go what you would think would be backwards, like loops out, 2 wedges in to give me a little bit more reach. These things are super strong. I believe Carl said they've only had a couple ever break. I think it is some sort of glass reinforced plastic. Also works great as a pry tool. These definitely fall into the must-haves. Like, you need a good wedge. Get a great wedge. These Stucky tools are amazing. I'm going to get rid of these as we go to kind of help me remember what we've gone through. Let's talk some hammers. My favorite blending hammer of all time, the 4-ounce KECO hammer. Let's get you a look here. It's got that cool open designed head. KECO always makes beautiful tools. I'm sure part of this is design and part of this is functional to get the weight down. I love how these feel. No, I've been using this one for years. And I've really had to drive the wedge in to hold this head on. Like, I've made plenty of money with this thing. And I love this handle. So it's got the backside, right, where you can get your reach. If you want a shorter handle, it's got that sort of bulge in the middle where you can slide right up and shorten it and make some impacts. And then double heads, wide head, which is honestly what I use most of the time, and the smaller head for some real precision work. Man, that Glexo 4-ounce hammer is amazing. I think everybody who works for me owns this hammer. And every PDR student I've had come through the shop, if they didn't own this hammer, left ordering this hammer. So this thing is absolute money. Incredible. On to the other table. Next up is my Stinger paddle. So this came out, I guess it was last year. Yeah, I think it came out last December. So a little over a year ago. I wanted to make, in my mind, the perfect paddle. In fact, I almost named it the perfect paddle, but Mark, my buddy, has perfect pull stuff, which we will talk about in a bit. And I didn't want to sort of step on his toes. Now, full disclosure, I was tired of buying hammers that were made out of a softer wood that I kept chewing through, like multiple hammer handles per year, looking for this exact strike. These are made out of Purple Heart. I wanted it to hold up better, but it's held up well. It's held up better than any hammer handle I've used, but I have had some loss. So, like in full disclosure, so this was an early one. This may have even been prototype before they were in production. So over a year of absolute daily use. The leather side has held up just fine. This side, I had one split. I lost an edge to the side. This in the middle, right? And my knockdowns, my favorite knockdowns are, we will talk about them, these shock blockers, but they have a hard, sharp edge. Really, for over a year, I can't complain that that's there. I guess I just wanted something bulletproof, or they're not quite bulletproof. But that being said, the Stinger is still my absolute go-to tool for knocking down. In fact, if you head over to dentrepairnow.com/institute, I've actually got a free course called the Stinger course that you can take that will dive deep into why I believe this is the perfect paddle for knocking down. That being said, maybe it's not perfect, but we're not calling it quits yet. I love it. I know this is available at AnsonPDR.com. Check it out. It's really a great tool. We'll figure out something to protect that back of that metal, or the back of that paddle. I've even thought about putting a small piece of metal back there to hold it. We'll see. When I retire this one and pull out a brand new one, I will let you know and keep you up to date. So, Stinger paddle. Oh, and of course, I want to tell you where to get all of these. The Stucky Talon wedge tools, obviously available at stuckytools.com. Paddles. Up next. Now, I will tell you that I sort of got stuck using the Stinger. Like, I was using it for everything. I think I was maybe this is part of what killed it, is that's designed for a very specific strike, a very finishing strike, fast, lightweight, to sting, hence the name, sting the high spot down. I found myself sticking to it too much, and I picked up this paddle. I think I got it at the Hail Expo this summer, or was it Vegas? Somewhere I ran into Peter, and he's like, hey, check out my upgraded paddle. And this sort of brought me back to reality and was like, hey, don't get stuck using one tool, right? There's different tools, there's different hammers for different jobs. This is my go-to paddle for when I need a little bit more oomph. When I'm trying to move a crown, I'm trying to move more metal, and I don't want to swing so hard, and I just need some bumps, right? This paddle, on top of being very well built, is beautiful, right? The ball, very similar to the Stinger. A nice wrap, good machine work here. Leather on this side. And Peter, maybe this is my answer. A rubber on this side. So it really, as I get older and my ears get worse, I've really noticed that this rubber helps to deaden the sound. Man, I'm digging it. Peter, as always, with all of your tools, amazing tool. The VIP paddle from VIP PDR Tools. Go check that out. Love it. I think that is new for this year. So that would be our new, right, what to look at. That's a what to look at tool. This was brand new towards the end of, towards the end of 24, beginning of 25. The whole new line of KECO hammers. I think I have them all. I've got like the cool craftsman style, this size, and then I've got the really long one. I've got different heads. It's a whole system. This hammer setup, all right, let's take a look at it, has become a go-to for like those soft and medium crowns. I'm typically not a fan of round handles, but this one, round handles, round shaft. This one, I do not have a problem indexing, and it may be because this head has pivot tip heads on it. So what that means is when you strike, even if you're off, the hammer head or the face of this will correct to what you need to do, to what you're looking for. So I've got a radius head and I've got a flat head. This hammer, great reach, good length. That must be 18 inches. It's bigger than 12, maybe 16 to 18 inches. Amazing for that lighter, softer crown work. Good reach, good control, clean strikes. This hammer is definitely, I guess this would fall into both as a newer hammer if you haven't been around. And if you have, check this thing out. And the aluminum head is nice and light. This has become a go-to hammer for me. Those two paddles, the Glexo hammer and this, are what live on the top of my cart and are my go-tos all the time. So available at KECOTabs.com. Speaking of KECO, shameless plug, at Mobile Tech Expo on Thursday Education Day, I am coming out of KECO retirement, putting my blue KECO shirt back on. We've got one right over there. And I'm going to be doing the talk at MTE about lateral tension, how to unlock your repairs, and how to stay unlocked throughout the repair to give you, right, to open up new repair possibilities, showing off some new tools that I'm sure will be must-haves because that's just how KECO rolls. So, side note, come see me at Education Day, Mobile Tech Expo 2026, the 25th anniversary. All right, let's get these little bad boys out of the way. Let's talk some tips. Let's see if I can give you some tech tips on tips. My first tech tip would be buy the tips. Buy all the tips. In fact, Keith, I think you're a regular listener. I'm waiting for those new tips to pop up on Plague PDR. Keith is coming out with a whole new line of micro tips that I believe, from what I can understand or what I've heard, sounds similar to this, which will kick it off. The Dent Reaper, I don't even know what it's called. Stubby, almost all thread R4 tip. This thing, and I've talked about this on the show a couple of times, has become an absolute go-to for me. It fits on some of the smaller rods. I've got a 3/8 rod that I really like. And also, this is letting me sneak in an R4 tip into some tight spaces. This tip from Dent Slayer is incredible. And I think it's only like 20 bucks, give or take. That is available at pdrtool.com. That's from A1. Check that out. That would be on that's sort of a mixed tool. These tips up next are the phenolic tips. And I only grabbed 2, but I've got a ton out there. These are available at ansonpdr.com. These are a tip that have been around for ages. I think that Ultra Dent Tools was the first company to come out with these. It's a phenolic resin tip. These are my favorites. So I've got this sort of short, stubby, call it a bullet tip, and then, of course, a sharper one. These allow you to push incredibly hard without leaving any tool marks behind. Deep, nasty dents, get it hot, get like this ball tip behind that dent and go to town, and then you're able to come in and finish with a clean tip like this. Absolute must have. Anson has gone and made an entire line of these of different shapes. Biggest tip with these, do not side load. These are a direct push tool only. If you're going to twist, I have broken several. Let's see if I can get you to zoom in here. I've broken several, right? Because there's just not a lot of meat around that thread. And it is just a resin. It almost looks like wood, honestly. Do not side load these. Direct push only. But I promise, if you are not using phenolic tips and you start to use them, you'll be amazed. Anywhere you would have pushed with a plastic tip, you can push with these, but these are a lot less slippery. But again, don't side load them. Up next is, and it's not even out yet, so this would definitely fall into the tools to look at. But I heard Hudson say, in fact, when we did the Super Show for MTE, these will be available at MTE. So this tip is called the Wizard's Dice from Dent Gents. Maybe Dent Gents and Dent Vision. Don't hold me to that. I think it's Hudson's design. Anyways, they go on this tip that I can never remember the name of from Anson, the little pink tip. Super mushy, pushes awesome, never wears out. This tip, we've got to get you a good zoom in here. This tip is really cool. So we called it the Wizard's Dice because it has this multifaceted, it looks like a die from a Dungeons and Dragons game or something like that. The idea is it's on this 3/8 round base, which will let you slide into tighter areas. Think like European doors. And then when you come out and push, because this rotates and spins on here like this, it will come out and always give you a big, broad contact. This pairs perfectly with one of my go-to tools, which I guess we'll jump ahead and talk about, which is the Dent Slayer Shorty 3/8 diameter tool. Original hub design, not compact hub, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see this tool come out in the compact hub line. But anyways, this is part of the interchangeable tip door lord set. This is the smallest one. This is the 3/8 tool. This tool paired with this tip, we can get her to thread in, is absolute money down European doors. Here we go. Get you zoom back over. Down European doors, right? It is super small, so you don't have to wedge that door open as far. Another place that I found that this works fantastic is upper bedside dents, right? Pull the bed cap off, and it is, because this is a smaller diameter, you can sneak in. You get great leverage out. And same thing, as you're rolling around, you're getting this incredible contact point with that tool. So this, right, the Wizard's Dice tip cap, whatever you want to call it, Hudson, drop a comment. Anyways, fantastic for tight European doors, tops of bedsides, and also deep, call it Dent Olympic style dents. Same reason, it's a 3D printed head or 3D printed tip. You're able to get down in, you roll around, it gets that big surface area, and you're able to make a huge clean push up nice and fast. So that's a twofer for you. Check out the Wizard's Dice tip and this Door Lord interchangeable tip smallest. I bought the set, but I think you can probably buy this individual. All of this will be available at AnsonPDR.com. Phenolic tips, pinky tip, Anson PDR, and the little R4 only tip from Dent Slayer at PDRtool.com. Love, love, love those tools. While we're on small sneaking in tools. Let's just keep it rolling. This is, now what I've done here is a lot of this I would recommend sets. So that little one, Door Lord interchangeable set. Door Lord set is on the list for later today. If I brought all of my sets out, I would need a way bigger studio and a production team, not just me and my little switcher here hiding behind the gun or the glue gun. This is one in a series of, I believe, 3 tools from Finesse. These are the cherry poppers. So there's 2 shorter, one shorter, 1/4 inch, and just straight 90-degree bends. So a small and a large, and then this little double bend. It is just simply one of their great stainless tools that they have ground the ends down to accept an R4 cap. And these things will sneak into areas all over the place. So definitely get a hold of Bonnie. I think it's finessepdrtools.com. But anyways, look up Finesse PDR Tools and you will find it. The cherry popper set. So little double bend. I think they're all 1/4 inch too. The longer straight or the longer 90 and then the shorter 90. I use them all the time. Same idea as the little, looking over there, same idea as the little tip from Dent Slayer. These are allowing me to sneak R4 caps into tighter, smaller areas, get cleaner pushes, work faster, move the bottom of the dent up nice and fast. Cherry poppers from Finesse. Amazing. These definitely fall into the must-haves. These are something that have been around for a while. I think I picked them up last year at one of the meetups where I saw Bonnie. I didn't see her this year here. So check them out. Definitely a must-have tool. Add it to your arsenal. It will become a go-to tool for you as well. While we're talking about Finesse, right here. Again, I didn't bring the whole set. It's just one of 6 or 7 tools. The circus set, the MT sharp tips. Look at that. This one's been used and abused and dirty. I love it. These are real tools that I use every day. This sharp set from Finesse definitely falls into the must-haves, right? It's a classic. If you have not purchased this yet, go get it. And the price is like, for what you're getting, the quality of tool and the number of tools, it's like one of those greatest values in PDR. They've been around forever. I think I've probably had my set for 5 or 6 years. I should have bought it way sooner than that. Mac, my son, fell in love with these. And he actually used his winnings from the 3rd place at the beginner competition. He took his Anson gift card and applied it to a set of circus tools so he could get his own full set. But anyways, the MT set from Finesse Tools, available at Finesse Tools and Anson, of course, right? Anson has everything, but I like to also shout out the individual tool makers as well. The entire set is a must-have. There's 1 or 2 more smaller than this, and then they go all the way to like almost as tall as me. All sharp tips, amazing for finishing dents, amazing for aluminum. That is where it's at. It's gonna be a long show. I need a little drink of water. This is good though. We're 23 minutes in, and pun intended, I haven't really put a dent in these tools yet. Let's go over here. Now this is more for, if the battery's not dead, I can show you. This is more for some of the body techs that are learning PDR or that are learning glue pull. For years with KECO teaching, we used a regular infrared thermometer, and it works pretty good. Over the last year or so, I switched to a thermal camera. And this thing is super cool, right? So there's the desk. There's my hand, where you can see that under my nails is warmer than that. But check this out. I moved my hand away, and you can still see where it's at. Fantastic for when you're really trying to get dialed in and learn and see exactly what's going on with your glue tabs, this tool allows you, like, you just sort of look at the whole scene and it'll find the hottest point, which should be directly under your glue tab, and it'll let you find that perfect pull window. So you're getting that strong pull every time. This has become a real go-to for me with getting students up to speed and really dialing in their temperature on their glue pulls. I think I picked this up on Amazon, under 150 bucks. I may have caught it on a sale for like 135. That particular brand, if you would like to know, I don't know what the brand is. Oh, HSF Tools. And this particular one is the HF96. Sorry, forgot to switch the camera over there. So you were just staring at that screen. But anyways, that camera has really, really helped with teaching students and showing more. A lot of people go wrong with that infrared thermometer and they're holding it too far back. And it's got a laser, so they think it's reading the laser, but it's actually a big, broad average of what it's looking at. Thermal camera, super cool. I probably need to take it home and check my wiring and make sure all that's good too. Those are the ads I always see on TikTok. Hey, what's up, TikTok? Little shout out. We're still live streaming on there. Anyways, that's that. Let's go over here and talk about a tab that, if I wasn't friends with Mark at Perfect Pull, I don't even know that I would know that it's out. I haven't seen any footage. Mark, shout out. I told you I'd get some in that training, and we ended up not doing anything near an edge. But anyways, these tools, or these tabs, are the Lat tabs by Perfect, Dentless Touch Lat tabs by Perfect Pull. So it's a lateral tension tool to pull laterally, but I don't know that they're really for like lateral in the sense of pulling laterally on a panel. What these are really made for, and talking to Mark, is to pull them, right, door jam. It is to pull, to glue here. It's more like a weld-on tab, right? If this is your door jam, you would glue in here and pull your jam out this way. So two sizes, let's call it business card size, 2x3, and then smaller, let's call it 1x2, 2.5 maybe. Solid metal, I don't know. Yeah, they're heavy. I don't know that it's aluminum. It's probably steel. Nice coating on them. Comes with screw heads if you want to use your slide hammer, or eyelets if you want to hook up to a ratchet strap, or if you're on a frame machine, something like that. Anyways, for getting in jams, no give, pull that jam straight out, similar to what a weld-on tab would do in a body shop. Not got to play with them yet. Keep an eye out. When I do, we will make a video. Available at perfectpulldent.com. Speaking of Perfect Pull, if I had room, if we could carry it around, my pull tower of the year, because I can't use a suction tower anywhere in this shop or studio, is definitely the Perfect Pull. Also available at perfectpulldent.com. That thing is a workhorse. So anyways, check out the Dentless Touch Lat tabs by Perfect Pull. That's that. Next up, the Robo Lifter. Definitely, hands down, my favorite go-to mini lifter. Well before I worked for KECO, long after I worked for KECO, this Robo is where it's at. I love this thing. It's a system, right? You can switch out these feet for a precision plate to pin the metal down and pull sharp dents. You can pop these feet off and put crease feet on to, guess what? Pull creases with. You can marry two of these together on crease feet with a crease adapter and pull body lines into straight metal. You can pull sharp stuff, sharp line dents that still nobody else pulls that way. This thing is awesome, but we've added a couple of upgrades. So this is like extra Robo juice. So let me show you here. First upgrade are the Robo legs, I think they call them, from Plague. So these are adjustable feet legs, I guess. Legs that make your feet adjustable. So where we can now, if we're pulling in an offset area, say you're at the bottom of a rail and you're on the top of the door and you need to get things squared away, great movement here. I've also taken these feet and put them on my K-beam for extra adjustability, right? So available from Plague PDR, these feet. The Robo, of course, from KECO Tabs. And this little head here, this orange one, is from our buddy Jonathan from a couple episodes ago, from JVF Tools. This is like a refined, more polished version of the adapter. So it's pass through. So you got pass through. It's got a little bit more room, so tabs are less likely to get stuck. I believe he told me that they tumble these, so I am a stickler for not sharp edges. The standard Robo adapter is pretty sharp here, so if you're pulling and trying to catch a tab, those things will tear your fingers up a little bit. This is nice and polished and rolled over. Robo, absolute must-have tool for sure. What to look at? Check out these additions to it, right? The Robo legs and then better adapter from JVF Tools. Absolute must-have. Use it literally all the time. In fact, this handle is like getting wore out from being on my cart and riding around. Let me show you the work that she's been through. Right, we've got it here, in and out of the Willy Quick topper. This thing has seen a lot of dents. It's fixed a lot of dents. That thing is awesome. Also, plenty of adapters available from KECO for that. You can get a C-hook, which turns it into an edge tool. You can get a hole straightener, which turns it into a hole straightener. I have lost count, but I think I have like 6 Robos in my realm of repairs now. I just get tired of changing it out, so I just built new ones for each one. Let's talk. While we're on the hot glue mix. Let's talk about some hot glue stuff. So, hands down, without a doubt, and many years now, my glue gun for everyday small dents is the Trifecta glue gun from Anson PDR. I think it was originally a collaboration. The Trifecta was James Lee from Elimident, Anson, and TDN back in the day, now KECO UK. So it was a trifecta. It was those 3 companies coming together to build the best possible glue gun. I think it's based on a TEC glue gun, which are some of the best going. These guns are phenomenal. I've not had one burn out. The only reason we've replaced any is like gigantic falls off of tall roofs, and they're not impact proof. But that being said, the Trifecta gun is without a doubt my go-to everyday run and gun, pun intended, my run and gun glue gun is this. It's got a high and low setting. Honestly, I never use the low setting. The gun itself is built for a Ryobi battery. You then buy an adapter to whatever battery you want. So this is Ryobi to Milwaukee. They have Ryobi to DeWalt and to Makita. This is mine. That is my go-to gun, without a doubt. Go-to glue, probably my glues of the year for regular pulls would have been the Purple Perfection all season except for the cold season. And then as we move into the cool weather here in the Northeast, I always go to the Anson Cool Weather Tequila glue, the baby blue. That color right there. That is my go-to as soon as the weather gets cold and the shop's cool. We keep the shop at like 60 degrees. This stuff doesn't get chippy down that low. It's still easy to clean off the car when you're done. Amazing. Definitely my go-to everyday glue gun. We can let that sit here. Collision guns. Hands down. And I pulled the trigger on this early 25. So it's still a new gun. And certainly not everybody has it. Let's see if I can do this without unplugging any of the electronics that I've got plugged in over there. This is the JVF Pro glue gun. I can't open it up because it's cold. This holds essentially six-ish sticks of glue. I also bought his pellets, so you can just dump pellets in. You will not run out of glue. If you're getting into large collision pulling, large tension tabs, the straps, the JVF retention, multiple big tabs, this gun will not run you out of glue. It's expensive. I think it was $750 US is what I paid. And that may have been plus shipping. I can't remember. It's a $700 glue gun. But that being said, it is worth every penny of that $700. And in talking to Jonathan, he said this thing is industrial. You literally could just turn it on and leave it on for days. I don't. I just turn it on when I need it. I don't want to burn it out anytime extra soon. Incredible. JVFtools.com, also where you could get that little orange adapter for the Robo. Handy's got a new line of tabs out and the retention. He's got tons of great tools. This gun is a bad mofo. Like, look at that. Whew. Love it. It says wear gloves, so you should probably wear gloves. Amazing. And a real tool. Now, I understand that not everybody wants to or can justify a $700 glue gun. I get it. I really do. When I was with KECO, and really for years until I found this gun, I would run, honest to goodness, 4 or 5 of the standard KECO GPR Star guns, just so I didn't run out of glue. And I would still occasionally run out of glue, but it was kind of a pain in the butt to have 4 or 5 guns, and even sometimes the trifecta on the side, to make sure I had enough melted glue. Then I found this. This is the Tech 820-12. So it is a 110 gun. It's a 110 plug. Variable temperature, if you can see that there. This gun, one pair of these guns, right? So, draw. Unbelievable. So these are 250 watts. Yep. So these guns are plug-in, right? If you have big stuff, you can plug in. 250 watt guns. This is the body that the cordless collision gun from Anson PDR is based on. It's this body, but those cordless guns only run at 150 watts. They will pump out glue. They will out-pump like a standard KECO or Kamado entry-level gun, but they won't even come close to touching this. Prior to buying this, I would run, and I still keep them out there, I will run a pair of these. You are hard-pressed to run out of glue. Because they're 250 watts, they recover super fast. So it's sort of like grab gun 1, fill up your big tab, set it down, place your tab, right? It's going to fill up just about anything. When you come back to do your next tab or next strap, grab gun 2, fill it up. By the time you're done doing that and place it, being 250 watts, gun 1 is already recovered and ready to go. It's melted that chamber. It's got a big chamber of glue, great recovery, smooth trigger, like that's where it's at. And I think these are sub 150. So you could buy, I guess, 5 of these or 1 of these. But in reality, a pair of these will serve you very well. AnsonPDR.com. Great, spectacular gun. And if Jonathan didn't come out with this big dog, that would be my go-to collision gun, hands down, without a doubt. Whew. Oh, we're not doing too bad. 40 minutes in, table's getting clear. We're looking good. What's up, TikTok? I don't even know if anybody's over there watching. Before I end that stream, I will look at comments and answer your questions if you have any. Whole show, YouTube, tomorrow morning. the 29th, 7 a.m. Eastern. This will all be up, but you'll get your close-ups and everything. So let's go from expensive for its size to something that is a absolute must-have. This is a super good value, and that is this 3-pack of edge dollies from Dent Tools. So simple, so cheap. I think these might be like $30. Don't hold me on that price, but they're not expensive at all. These are a rigid plastic made to help bump the metal over like an edge that got hit. So edge of a rail, edge of a quarter into a jam. This becomes your dolly to move in to the, move the metal back to the space. So you've got 3 different radii. I think that's the word. But our blue is perfectly flat. Our yellow has a slight little dome compared to the blue. See that? No, you can't see it because I don't have good lighting. So blue is flat, the yellow is slightly domed, and the red is really domed. Right? See that rock? That is so you can be as precise as you need to be. These are absolutely a must-have tool if you're doing PDR. I don't care if you're a door ding guy, smash tech, hail tech, doesn't matter. You need this 3-piece set of edge dollies from Dent. Absolute non-negotiable must-haves. Can't believe I waited so many years to get them, and I've had them for a lot of years. Such a simple tool that makes such a big difference. Amazing. Speaking of edge tools, I just got a new one in from Ukraine, from Cult. I think it's Cult, C-U-L-T. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Tools. Miroslav told me about this company, and I saw it and had to order it. Review to come, right? But pretty cool. I snagged his paddle because I'm a paddle junkie. I got the edge dolly and a blending hammer. So we'll see how it all goes. Anyways, super cool. But these bad boys, head on over to Dent Tools. Is it dentcrafttools.com? It's the one from Oklahoma City. You can't miss it. Edge dollies are amazing. Call Holly, call Jennifer. Get them ordered, get them going. Absolute must-haves. Along the lines of those little knick-knacky things, and I didn't bring them all out. I've got several different blocks. I've got some nylon blocks from Dent, and I've got some wooden blocks from VIP, from our buddy Peter. Simple tools for creating leverage. I've got ones that go in a third brake light. I've got this one, actually it has a magnet on the backside with some different angles cut in, machined in. You can use these in doors, in bedsides, in quarter panels to get leverage, or to use this as a leverage block. You should have a whole bunch of, and again, you can see that these are not like brand new out of the box promotional things. These are ride or die in the box, use them all the time. In fact, they probably need to add magnets to more of them. This particular one, VIP PDR Tools, the nylon ones at Dent, and I've even got a couple other ones from some oddball companies. Get yourself a bunch of blocks. You've got to be able to get good leverage and control to push. These are something that can help in those little weird scenarios where you need it. I like this. The table is clearing off. We're looking good. Headed in the right direction. This little tool here, now I think our buddy Matt from Get a Grip sells one. This is no longer available on Amazon, but this is a digital paint gauge. There we go. So it turns on. It will tell us how much paint is on a panel. It will also tell us, we get a meter reading on the side of the toolbox here. So if you can see it in the top corner, this says FE. So that means it's ferrous, which means it's magnetic, which means it's steel. If it were aluminum, let's see if we can get an aluminum reading. If we read aluminum, it says NFE, non-ferrous. That means it is not magnetic, which means it is aluminum. in our world. Also, it will read, some of these lift gates. I've seen Toyota, not the Grand Cherokee, the big one, whatever, the big Grand Cherokee, the Wagoneer has gone to plastic. Sometimes tops of hatches are plastic. Sometimes BMWs or fenders are composite. The Raptor Bronco has composites on it that they've made flat. They look like metal. This will tell you. Let's see if it'll read this. This will also tell you --. So you can use this. I do use this tool, one, to see if there's been a repaint on the car. So we can go around and check readings and see if the readings match up. Excuse me. If the readings match up on a car. So that'll give you an idea of refinished or not. We can also use it to identify material type. Not sure, don't have a magnet on you, or you need hard evidence. Shoot it, take a picture of it, put it in your estimate that this panel is indeed aluminum. Mr. or Mrs. Insurance Adjuster, and you want to argue with me? Or, right, we had one of our Ford stores that had one of those Raptor Broncos in, and they were like, man, there's a flaw there. Can you get it out? And we're looking at it. It just didn't feel right. Before we tried to sneak a tool in, we grabbed the thing, we read it, and we're like, hey, that's a composite. It's actually a flaw from the mold or whatever you want to call it. Digital paint meter. So you can check Amazon. Again, I think Matt with Get a Grip has one. Very, very useful tool. Also, it helps when the customer is like, no, my car's never been painted, and we can see it plain as day, but they don't want to see it. That meter becomes the bad guy and can show you what it's all about. All right, making our way through. Pinky. This is my second Pinky that I've ever owned. I still have my original Pinky, which is getting wore out. Had to get another one because I can't be without Pinky. So this is from Dent Tools also. Dent, Oklahoma City. In my opinion, the best whale tails going are these. They've put a lot of design into it. That back being rolled over allows you to go in without creating high spots. The edges are great. The temper on the metal is great. Not so much for Pinky, but the bigger ones. Completely bendable, so you can get them exactly into where you need to go. If you're going to pick one, I would pick Pinky because you can get into all kinds of places. You can direct push with it. But in reality, I put this on here because like the entire set of whale tails from Dent Craft are a must-have. I think they're up to 4 or 5 different head sizes now. Tons of different lengths. The whale tail set from them, hands down, is an old school, absolute must-have. If you're not using whale tails, I don't even know what you're doing. Like, get the whale tails and buy the Dent Craft whale tails. These things are phenomenal. Enough said about whale tails. This little bad boy. This was a gift from Peter. We were working a hailstorm together in 2018. This chain, it's simple, it's stupid, it's a chain, is freaking awesome. Again, super affordable, VIPPDRtools.com. He has got this thing, I don't know if it's heat treated, tempered, if you just found a hardcore metal, 2 different size hooks, so bigger hook, and he cut this little, I'm going to show, just that little pointed edge, helps you to slide it in to some different holes. It's got the shorter side for smaller holes. You can sneak in to tighter areas. And this has been, I thought I lost this this summer. I had to order another one immediately. I was sick. Now I have a backup one. But this little chain from VIP gets you into so many places. If you buy the kit, it comes with this cool little like double C twisted hook. Great for getting into some weird little spots. This chain, again, it's one of those must-haves. It's been around for, if I got this in 18, this 7-8 years ago. Awesome. Like, it's been around. I can remember a little story time. So if you see that, gob of gook on there. What that was is me and Dave, where he was doing a gnarly roof, and we had to re-foam some of the braces back up, some of the anti-flutter braces. We were reapplying the flutter foam. We got a bad tube of fuser. Dude, it freaking exploded in the car. I can't believe we didn't have to buy a dashboard. It stuff went everywhere. I don't know how we got to wipe it off the dashboard. I really don't. But there's still a chunk that is stuck to my orange chain that it's just a reminder to, when you're going to use that stuff, put a drop cloth everywhere in the freaking car. Stories. Yeah, dodged a freaking bullet. Dodged a huge bullet on that, not having to put a dash in. Whew, that was crazy. All right, let's talk some cold glue and slide hammers while we are here. So I've got, there it is. Oh, we might as well bring this over to you whilst we're at it. Cold glue has become, let's rewind. I was like anti-cold glue. When Cola Fria, right, Sergio, first came out, I was like, it's snake oil. Even seeing some of the videos, it just didn't jive with me. Like, eh. Then Glexo came out. They made a hard push, great marketing campaign. Some of my friends started using it, and it felt like a quick fix. Felt like people were getting into problems with it. In fact, I think it was Mike Toledo. This may have even been back on PDR Tool Time. Saw his neighbor and was like, hey, we'll pop that dent out for you real quick, and ended up ripping paint off the car. Like, I saw people using it the wrong way. Then MTE Vegas, it had to be 19 because I was with KECO, came out with a Glexo setup, right? KECO Tabs, Glexo glue, slide hammer. And I had never used it before. I'd never paid a whole lot of attention to cold glue. And they were like, we got to demo it. So I go over and smack with a PT Cruiser door with that big old bulge, smacked a big old dent in it, and sort of walk over. And honestly, I was sort of half-assing it because I was not excited to sell cold glue. And grabbed my KECO slide hammer in those tabs, and I put it on, and I wham! And that hooked up, and the power that thing had, like these light bulbs went off in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I was missing the ball on this cold glue stuff. And I bought it at the show and brought it home and saved a whole Prius roof with it. Like, first repair back, we didn't even drop the headliner. Fast forward to today, cold glue is like a whole nother world. Like a whole nother world. I use it mostly as a finishing tool, not a starting tool. I still use, on my big tabs, I still use, like OG Glexo glue. The black, sticky, works great. But on my finishing stuff, man, it has literally changed my whole approach to like rails, to finishing even larger dents. It's so fast. And with glues that are available today and the tabs and the setups, like unreal. So here is my cold glue setup, my current cold glue setup. Essentially, all of 2025 started here as soon as I could get it after MTE. And then this fall, this one came out. So let's talk about them. So my go-to hammer for years has been the Cold Snap from Dent Slayer. It's a sharper, harder pull for me. I've tried the AR, the automatic returns. I just get a better pull with this. In fact, Matt and myself got into a discussion about that when I was on the Dent Slayer podcast. Check that out if you haven't. Episode 17, I believe. Where he says he even doesn't get as hard of a snap out of the return as he does this. So, Cold Snap, PDRtool.com from Dent Slayer. Love this slide hammer. It's my go-to. I would call this like one of my average hail /ding/finishing tabs. Now, you can't tell it here because I've been using it all year. This is actually Sergio's yellow or gold glue. But, you know, a whole season of hail cars and door dings has turned it black. But I promise you, this is Sergio's gold. Super hard snap. It's a go-to. I've not replaced it yet, but running through the mix, right, running up fast and becoming a go-to is the KECO Diablo cold glue. So it is green. It also comes preloaded, right? So I've got the, oh, it helps if I turn the camera on. It is the KECO Diablo. So these two tabs that I'll show you in a minute are from the Hail Micros setup. It's a whole kit. It comes with these and the tabs. These are preloaded with the glue to go on to your tabs. And there's a whole process. I think, did we do a video? I think I need to do a video. The right process. Anyways, get this super hot, get it clean, get it super hot, let it melt into here, and then you peel it out, and it's the perfect amount of glue for your slide hammer. I've got these two loaded up. So this is about the same size as my tab on my cold snap with the Sergio's yellow. I've got set up here. And then on my fast PDR mini slide, I've got the smallest, 9, 10. It's not very big. That tab for pulling up and finishing some tight little small dents is unbelievable. Oh, that's right. We did do a video on a repair. We did a whole hail rail repair with nothing but Diablo. This stuff is phenomenal. Now, I will say that the Diablo is a little bit, all of these glue, really glue as a whole, right? The whole infrared thing. Glue as a whole, hot, cold, doesn't matter. It's temperature sensitive. And maybe temperature sensitive is the wrong word. This Diablo glue really likes a warmer panel. So I really warm the panel, and then, dude, you can fly. And it is a hard, snappy pull. It's unbelievable to me just how hard of a snap, how hard of a pull where you're getting out of cold glue. I thought this yellow gold from Sergio's was like as good as it was going to get. And then sure enough, here comes KECO with the Diablo. And man, it's unreal. The KECO stuff is available at AnsonPDR.com. The cold snap is available at PDRtool.com from A1. The Sergio's glue is a little tougher to find. It's out there, but you got to search for it. If you can't find it and you want to try it out, hit me up with a DM, and I will hook you up with Eddie that can get you hooked up here, who I got mine from. Slide hammers, man, I'm going to have to come out with a new rack for slide hammers because forever I carried one. And then I carried two. I still use my KECO small slide hammer as my hot glue tab slide hammer for rails. So for a while I carried like a heavier, like the 2.5 pound KECO or the old school Worth, and my small KECO mini slide were like the two. Now, much like my Robo setup, much like my knockdown setup that we're going to talk about, I don't want to switch tabs and glue and unscrew. Like, I just want to go. I've got like, I bet I've got nothing short of 8 or 10 slide hammers. That might be on the low side. This one alone, the newer one from Anson, from PDR Outlet. I've got 3 of these myself. Max got one, Louie's got one, Dave's got one. Like, we're loaded up. This comes with a head for a hot tab. I honestly don't use it for the hot tab. I use it for the cold tab. But I've got a couple of these set up with different size tabs. In fact, I just scored another one on the Black Friday deal because it was too good of a deal to not buy, with some more cold glue tabs. So I don't have to switch tabs. I can just, bam, I need something smaller, bam, go to town. Cold Snap mini slide hammer from Anson is awesome. Again, I've got a few of them. And then this one is super cool. It is a little heavier. Let's get you a close-up. This is the Fast PDR magnetic mini slide hammer. So hot glue on one side, right? Standard hookup, or you could use an adapter and make it a double-headed cold glue. And the smaller threads, so Sergio's, Glexo, Dent Tools will all thread into here. VIP and Dent Slayer A1, I'll use a 5/16 18, so your standard thread. So big threads, little threads. But anyways, this Fast PDR slide hammer is heavy. This is probably, man, I bet it's approaching 1.5 pounds. I don't think it's 2, but it is a fast slide hammer. It's got a magnet, so it will hold when you're there. Comfortable. I said when I was talking about the Robo, I like smooth surfaces. This is nice and round, so I can come in, mash that down, hold it with my finger, and then rip, and then it resets there, right? Come down, mash, pull, it resets, right? It's fast. See, fast PDR. All right, it was a bad joke. I liked it though. It was funny. I like dad jokes. Fast PDR slide hammer. I may have a problem with slide hammers. I might need to go to like Slide Hammers Anonymous. We'll have to do a slide hammer show or a slide hammer video. Not a show. We'll do a slide hammer video. I'll pull out all my slide hammers. I even have an old school one. I don't remember who gave it to me with the screw, like from a body shop where they would drill a hole and screw the freaking slide hammer in and hit it. We don't use that. That's a teaching aid. Actually, it's a funny aid. We got it for a commercial. Anyways, funny stuff, good stuff. Those are some of my go-to slide hammers. Plus, I didn't grab it. The KECO mini slide hammer, still my go-to for hot pulls on the rail. Super comfortable. And the KECO 2.5 pound regular with the spring for my bigger pulls. I hardly ever do bigger pulls. I'm almost exclusively using something with leverage if we're going that route. Man, I got a mess to clean up, boys and girls. We've got a lot of tools out. But this table is almost cleaned off, and that table doesn't really have that many on it. So we're at 102. Let's see if we can get out of here by 1:30, about an hour and a half. With cold glue, this is new this year. I don't know how big of a splash it made. It does make a good spray. The Muck-Off from Willy Quick. This stuff absolutely melts cold glue residue. I don't care if it's Glexo or regular Glexo, the Diablo, the Sergios. This Willy Quick Muck-Off is so fast to clean. And also, right, it melts it off. It leaves you a clean surface to come back and pull again. So available from Willy Quick and at Anson as well. I've heard you can use some like cleaning kerosene. That's what Sergio recommends. That just sounds like it makes me nervous. This is probably the same stuff, but they made it purple, put it in a pretty label, and I like the Willys, so I would rather support them. So the Willy Quick Muck-Off is a must-have / what to look for. Check it out. They will definitely be at MTE, I'm sure. We'll save this. We're going to put this over here because that makes sense. Let's bring these little guys over here. Yeah, we'll do this. While we're talking glue and small stuff, let's talk about my, I don't know what I would call them, go-to tabs. My finishing tabs of the year. Big tabs are just big tabs. There are good ones from, I use KECO, I use Camauto, of course. I've got some stuff from JVF. Those are all good tabs. Big tabs, you're really just trying to fit what you're trying to fit, and there's not a go-to. When it comes to finishing, I've got a couple of tabs, all by KECO or a collaboration with KECO. First up is going to be the old school. Can't believe it's actually old school, but the dead center line of tools, right? I still use these all the time, available in ice and the nylon original material. Excellent, excellent stuff. Dead center tabs. From there, the Reaper, Dent Reapers, hexagon tabs with edge flex technology. Took dead center technology and magnified it or amplified it by adding a step to the side of the face. Between these two styles, obviously not just this size, right? Between these two styles, man, you can really kill a lot of tabs. These are finishing tabs. They will break, and if you abuse them, they will break. I hardly ever break them because I'm only using them to finish dents. Two of my favorite finishing tabs. From our buddy Hudson over at Dent Gents, the Tornado Tabs, EF5 through EF1, a little play on dead center technology where they did a tornado shaped shaft down to dead center width at the head, but up to a thicker top of the shaft. Hard pulling, sharp pulling tabs, available in 5 different sizes. I use these literally all the time. Crease tabs or crease style tabs. The Dent Reaper, I guess that's still a hex crease tab. These things pull so incredibly hard. It's almost come to the point where if I just need something to move, if something just won't give up, if I can get it into a shape that this style tab will hook up on, it's moving. And if this won't move it, it's not glue pulling. So you've got that large face, you've got the edge flex technology. I think you can sort of see that in the video. Man, killer. All must-have tabs. And then I just grabbed this one. I was actually just having a conversation with Hudson a week or two ago. This is just one of the dead center crease tabs available from KECO. This whole line of tabs, the dead center crease tabs, is a tab that I think, and in talking to Hudson, he sort of had the same opinion. It's a tab that's just sort of slept on. That is an absolute go-to tab for me. I have to have these available, like 5 millimeters wide by maybe 7 millimeters long, on up to some bigger ones. I would say like the smallest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe the smallest 5 or 6 pieces are like absolute money. I fell in love with those. I think they came out. I was with KECO when they came out. I fell in love with them right away. They pull so good. So good. It's a must-have. They've been out for probably 6 or 7 years. And I think it's just a slept-on tab. If you do not have the KECO Dead Center Crease tabs, go get them. If you don't have any of these tabs, go get them. Put them to work. They will make you money, I'm sure. Tabs of the year. Really, not even just tabs of the year. Tabs I use all the time. The tabs that I've used the most this year, for sure. Excellent, excellent stuff. Knockdowns. I know for sure I need like Knockdowns Anonymous. These are not brand new, though they've made some changes this year. Steve Dyke, who's now with Cam Auto, brought one up to me at Anson in, I guess that probably would have been spring or fall. Spring or fall of 24. And he was like, try this. It's a new knockdown. We're going to bring them out. It's from Dent Vision. It's a shock blocker. And I'm sure I still have my original one because I've got a bunch of them. And now they've come out with iterations. They had the X4. They had extra springs, magnetic, limited edition, zero gravity. Oh, that's the magnetic one. Super Mario Brothers, like teleportation tube, extra big ones, full stainless. These things are awesome. Let's look at them. Can't find my camera. There it is. Those look a little blurry. Hold on one second. Let me focus this up for you guys. Here we go. You gotta love self-production. Anyways, shock blockers. The way they work, if you are not familiar, if you live under a rock, or maybe you're new to PDR, the way they work is you hold this outer sleeve, and the knockdown itself moves through the sleeve, blocking any shock from coming into your fingers. Now, I will still grab an occasional regular knockdown. I actually can't believe how much vibration there is there that you never noticed. This is my standard, I'll go to every day. I don't know if I can take this cap off. Come on. I think this is an X4. Or no, this is a zero gravity. The purples were zero gravity. So double magnet setup. You can see that one's pretty beat up, more or less. They came out with some plastic caps. These beat my Stinger up less, which is why I like them. But anyways, Nick from Dent Vision just gave me a handful to try out. Amazing. Like, and along the same lines of slide hammers, of robo lifters, I don't want to switch tips. I would rather just have more knockdowns with the tips that I want, right? So my day-to-day, every day are, I think that's an OG shock blocker. This is an X4. I don't notice a whole big difference there. It's the pass-through that I really like. So my standard broader knockdown tip, and then I believe this is the Pee-wee. Both of these are match grade from Dent Tools. Love them. Like, these are both well over a year old, and you can see that there is like no mushrooming at all. I'm more likely to drop it and break it than to have it wear out on a car. Match grade with the R4. Full stainless. This was a one of one. Craig from Anson gave this to me. He wanted a stainless shaft with a standard sleeve, and the machine shop misheard him and made a stainless sleeve with a stainless shaft. We've got a few of these at the shop. This is hefty. It probably at least twice as much weight, at least in the hand. Feels like twice as heavy as a standard. I like this X4, which is extra springs. When I really need to get after something and I'm hitting hard, this full stainless body, stainless shaft is my go-to there. Just brought this back. I've not had many big dents to fix as of late. This is the XL, or the fatty. A little bit more heft, a little bit more girth. I'm sure it will be awesome, but I literally have not hit anything with it yet. But it is out there and available. And I think these are probably gone, but this is the limited edition zero gravity Mario Brothers throwback. Remember the pipes he would jump in Super Mario Brothers? Like, that's the idea there. With the cool green carbon fiber. This is a cool tool. So let's talk tips, right? Match grades are amazing. I still keep some steel, but I find myself using this more often. It feels like almost as hard as steel, but less likely to mar the paint. So those two are my go-tos. You have to have an R4 for sure. I will also swap this out for a pivot tip head, right? Pop this cap off, pop the pivot tip head on for some great clean knockdown work. These leather tips from VIP, amazing for knockdown or for crown cleanup. I don't really like to blend with them. I don't like how the leather blends, but I do love to knock down with them. I've got 3 or 4 different sizes in this, 3 that I can think of. These leather tips are amazing. And then I can't remember this material. This is also a peak, but not quite as hard as the match grade. Also another great tip. These are a little bit less expensive than the other ones, which is why I have it on my heavy knockdown. So if I'm wailing on it and this gives up, I won't feel as bad as if I had that. Bro, do you have like 10 shock blockers? If not, you should. I'm into the mid-teens. In fact, Anson was doing a giveaway. I think they had 2,000 of them to give away. Like any order with Anson would send you a shock blocker. I needed to order something. So I needed an adapter. I texted Vinny at Anson and I'm like, dude, don't send me a shock blocker. Like, I'm good. I have a lot of shock. I can't drink any more shock blockers. We're full. But these tools, these knockdowns are amazing. I got his hammer for reaching out and knocking down. Love it. Nick is a good dude. Nick is a great dude. Those are available at Anson PDR, and I think his website is up at Dent Vision Tools. Speaking of knockdowns, to stay on track, old school here, baby. Not even sure who or where I got these from. I think I bought them used off of a tech. These are from A1. Dentcraft also sells these. These are a must-have. Drum roll. I can't play the drums. These are a must-have for doing hail on like an SUV roof. You know, where you've got the hatch off and you're working from the back. Especially for a short guy like me, like I can only reach so far, right, and be accurate. You use these, I can reach way out with my long one and come in with my shorter one, and now I can tap accurately like that. These have been around a long time. I can remember early in my career when these first started coming out, and I'm like, man, someday I'm gonna have them. And I've had these for a long time. Get a set of hammers. Most of the time they come with a set of 3. I think my shorty one is probably out with my body hammers. Honestly, never use it, but long and medium, absolutely use all the time on big roofs. Also check out from Dent Vision, his little extended reach shock blocker knockdown. Good stuff. These are from A1, so pdrtool.com, match grade and not match grade, but good tips. You could also get a pair of these or a set of these at JVF Tools. Awesome stuff. Must have. Simple. Not crazy expensive, but you really need to have it in your box if you're serious about fixing dents. While we're on the hail kick, this is definitely a must-have. My must-have, my go-to. Now, again, it's just a piece. My Carbon Tech rod. Absolutely lost without this. When my buddy Dan bought one of these in 2017, when these first came out, I was like, dude, you are insane for spending $1,000 on a push tool, on one tool. That was ludicrous. And he goes, oh, well, try it out and see what you think. And I pulled that out and I went in, and I was exactly about that far into a roof. And I'm like, son of a... He just cost me $1,000. Have to have one. Lightweight, breaks down. I think fully assembled, it's 7 feet tall. Almost zero loss of power when you're pushing with it. It's just so rigid and lightweight. It doesn't fatigue you, right? Like if I tried to do that with a steel bar or even an aluminum bar, I'd be like this, my wrist would be giving up. It's old school. It's not fancy. It's not new, but it is super solid and is definitely a must-have. You need to have this tool in your arsenal if you are doing any kind of hail damage. In fact, Mac, you may hear some knocking in the background, is working on a hail car, and he needed an extension to reach the front, so he stole a piece out of mine. He's probably 9 feet from the back of the car to the front. Carbon Tech is an absolute must-have if you're fixing cars. Let's get out of glue. Let's go to our last glue pull tool setup. Lateral tension is still all the rage. In fact, that's what I'm talking about at MTE, right? Come see me on Thursday, Education Day. My go-to leverage tool has absolutely become the KECO K powers. Now we got the full size and the small, or regular and mini. I can't remember exactly what their names are. K powers are freaking fantastic. This little one, I guess you could do it with the big one. The little one, I've also got feet that I can unscrew these adapters and use it like a mini porta power. I just had a training a couple weeks ago. We put a big foot back here into a wheelhouse and a curved foot out here, and we're able to push the inner out while we grabbed the outside with our K-beam and pull there, and then threw a K-bar on top of that and made some magical moves. Lateral tension device for me, hands down, is this. Now, Cam Auto's got some great tabs. They've got a bridge set up that I used at the competition. The JVF tool will, of course, tension. This has just become my favorite. It's super easy. It's easy to set up. It's fast. And with the new tab straps, right, I'm getting like zero dive. I'm getting no residual loss. They originally started machining these out. They've now since made a mold. If I got that writing right, you can read it. Tells you where to glue. Do not glue here, glue here. That'll let this sit up. And then when you're pulling, even if it starts to dive, it can't pull in and make any collateral damage that you have to fix later. Like, for sure, KECO K power for lateral tension. Now I get a lot of texts asking me, like, what do you use for the tension? This is my answer every time. If you're going to buy one, buy the big one, because you can do small stuff with the big tool, but you can't do big stuff with the small tool. Now, that being said, earlier this year, I did add a second one of these to my arsenal to be able to get into some different places and work around. So I've got two smalls and a large. Keep an eye out. KECO is coming up with a new mid-size, and they're making some changes to the arms. Available at MTE. I'm certain that I will be talking about those there. It's my go-to tension tool for sure. Let's talk. Oh, man. See that? I don't do too bad. You guys will have to wait and hear in a different video what these straps are for. It's not too bad if that's the only ball I dropped. Let's talk about some push tools. I picked these up a couple of years ago. I think the first year they were out. So they are not brand new, but they are absolutely must-haves. And that is the Dent Reaper Hales Angels set. I think it is now an 8-piece set. 3/16, shorty blue handles, yellow here, then gray, then purple are the big ones. There is some magic that happens. Let me get this. Let's see if we can get this to focus for you guys. Come on. There it is. There is just some magic in the shape that they have come up with this end. So it's got like a double kick. It's curved, right? So you can sneak up into some braces. And this like pushes sharp and soft all at the same time. I was a big fan of the Excalibur, I think it's the AKs, the sharp ones. I still have the whole set of those in the shop. And I will use them on some sharper, harder aluminum. But my go-to for Hale hoods, for top panels, is the Hales Angels. I've used these on Hale, of course. I did an Audi smash in a door. The only tool I could find in my whole collection of tools that would let me sneak into that goofy European brace was like the big purple version of this. Through a hole up and in. The curve and the kick on these. John, you hit a freaking home run with these, dude. I've had so many people try these in the shop and turn around and buy them. Like as soon as they try them, they buy them, which is exactly what my buddy Tom Poland at Indianapolis Auto Spa, Midwest Auto Dent, whichever one you want to find him on. I went out to do some hail for him a few years ago, and he was like, dude, you got to try these. And I tried them, and literally like one hood in, grabbed my phone, and they were sitting in my house when I got home from that being on the road for a week. Absolutely, you need to have the Hales Angels from Dent Slayer while you're making that Dent Slayer order, or I'm sorry, Dent Reaper order, right? Get your Hales Angels, get your purple tabs, and also get yourself the Kratos. Mike Toledo has been talking about these. I fell in love with them as soon as I got them. I think I actually won these at Andy Patrick's toy drive last year and came back and put them to use and instantly fell in love. So this tool is, let's see if we get this bad boy to focus again. There we go. So he has put, it's like a pretty fat head for a blade style tool. And I don't know how well it really shows, but this, it's like a half of a ball transition at the top. This allows you to push so hard and so clean. It's unbelievable. So I've got both sizes of the door tools. So this is the shorty, and then there's a long one that's about like this. And then there's a set of three, wouldn't call them picks because they're not picks, but like straight with a 45-degree kick, a bendable Kratos set. This Kratos grind tip has, like, this is the door tool I grab first now. When I'm going down on a door to do a door ding, I'm grabbing these to get in, and it just pushes so clean. The Kratos from Dent Reaper are freaking fantastic. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Speaking of door tools, let's stay in that mix and let's talk about a couple. So my shoulders, I'm 23, almost 24 years in, my shoulders are smoked. I have elbow problems, right? When I started, it was fixed handle tools. You just twisted how you had to twist, and leverage wasn't a thing, and adjustability certainly wasn't a thing. Talking door tools, talking any kind of twist tool, the Gorilla Grip tactical handle, I think is the name, is a must-have. This particular one is the end game. So it goes on and you can pivot it, but this allows you to rotate the tool without taking the handle off. I keep it doubled up, so I've got plenty of leverage. I couldn't tell you the last time I stuck a regular handled tool down a door. I'm slowly replacing all of my tools with the hub tool setup. This is your standard hub. This fits your standard head. The end game has the 2 buttons and like a 15-degree kick. Brand new. I literally just got these like a week or so ago. The compact hub from Anson. Whole new redesign. So look at the teeth on that one. Compared to, well, that just is a couple of teeth. Compared to the teeth on that one. So much more bite here, a total redesign. This compact hub is super cool. This works more like your regular standard hub where you're on, and then if you want to move it, take it off, turn it to where you want it, and lock it back in. Killer adjustable handles. So much better than the first ones that came out. Way better than a fixed handle. I feel like had these come out years ago, my shoulders and elbows would not be nearly as beat up. Stuff that I know I cranked on rolling around. Now I just sort of sit back and I'm like, doot, 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 doot. And it just goes. Some of my go-to door tools, right? The Kratos from Dent Slayer, the or Dent Reaper. Man, there's too many Dent things. The Kratos from Dent Reaper, awesome. The door lords. So I got the set of interchangeable tools. We talked about the small one earlier, set of 3. The door lords, I think, is a set of 5 or 6. I love the sharp. So it's a long kick, maybe 5 or 6 inch kick. Nice sharp, not needle sharp, but a sharp tool for really working clean. And this longer kick, right? This will outshine the Kratos. This longer kick on some of these newer, wider doors allows you to get leverage and get in there and really make some moves. Door lords, tequila door lords, available at Anson PDR. This mini, these are new. I can't wait to use it. This was the first tool I grabbed when I got this new set and ran out and fixed a door ding with it. These are 5/16. Oh, I should switch cameras. These are the 5/16 compact hub tools. Man, I need a camera guy to keep up with me here. 5/16, nice long kick, similar to the standard door lord, right? We'll go side by side to show you that. Shaved profile, nice and skinny. This will allow you to sneak in to the edge of some braces, even out towards the edge of a door. Compact hub design. Man, I fixed a nice sharp ding with this the other day. No bending, no flexing, just straight drive. And again, much like that 3/8 door lord, this allows me to sneak into some tighter window openings, right? Putting less pressure on everything. Absolute. So end game and your door lords, absolute must-haves. Going to MTE, checking out, looking for new stuff. This new compact hub is amazing. Speaking of which, let's leave the compact hub out. And in fact, I've got on our YouTube channel at Dent Repair Now, which you might even be watching this on here. I have a first look video I did on the new compact hub tools setup. So there's a whole line of whale tails. So there's 2 different size whale tails. I just grabbed one, obviously for space sake today. These are the Anson Tequila Rattlesnake whale tails. So these have a curve similar to the idea of the Hales Angels to allow you to get up and into a brace and stay away with the compact hub. So now, instead of a fixed handle like your standard whale tail, where you go here and twist against yourself, now if I want to twist that way, I can actually preload here, and then I've got more torque, again, saving that wear and tear on your joints and shoulders, and I'm able to move my whole arm instead of rolling my wrist under and tearing my elbow up. New line of whale tails, 1.25 inch and 1 inch. Some arched brace tools. See the nice curve on it? Locked in, same idea. I can go, instead of just being straight or wherever, I can come out here. And now I've got great leverage to come and twist up. Nice sharp tip for doing fine cleanup work, forcing your aluminum up, driving the aluminum up. The Lucky 7s, I think that was originally an A1 tool design. They've done a compact hub version of the Lucky 7s. The idea here is this tool, so that's maybe 1/4 inch, 3/8 tops. We can sneak this through an existing hole, hook it, and then come back and then shoot a whale tail through a small hole into a panel. So think of like you're working up into a sail panel. Now we can sneak in and shoot up that sail panel and get into where the braces start with a whale tail through like a factory taillight hole. Check out the new compact hub. The build is amazing. I can't wait. There's a Dent Slayer upper door tool set that helped inspire or help push this forward that Anson is redesigning, redoing with the compact hub. I can't wait to get those. Those, if I didn't have handle problems, would have been on the must-haves, but you'll have to wait for the compact version to come out. Definitely what to look at. Go see these at Anson PDR. Check them out at the booth when you're in Orlando at MTE. Amazing, amazing stuff. Let's go to an old school favorite. Like, this is like one of those, man, I want to buy one tool. What should I buy for the beginners, for the people starting, for the body techs? 30-inch Dent Craft, double bend, interchangeable tip. This is like a, man, I can do open hood panels with it. I can sneak down, not that I want to, into a door and do some pushing with this. Still my go-to tool for fenders, right? Get up through the wheel well and go. Buying this one rod and a bunch of tips. Remember earlier I said buy all the tips. This is just one of those, it's not flashy. It's not stainless. It doesn't have a sweet handle, but it does have incredible drive, a comfortable handle, and interchangeable tips. This is an old school, simple, Mac was in earlier. He's like, oh, these are like the old as gold. This is an old as gold tool. This thing is absolute money. I do not leave the shop without it. It has to be on my cart all the time. Cool little hub tool, double bend that I picked up earlier this year. I picked up one fixed handle from Finesse, and Max stole it from me. I happened to be at Anson. Or no, Biggs was here. Yeah, Biggs came in. And I looked, and we got a nice double bend, 3/8, but still your standard 5/16 tool tip, right? So you can see I've got the phenolic on, one of my go-to tips. But I can come all the way down to a regular 3/8 tip and sneak in there. So I could put that Wizard's dice on. I could put that pink tip on. I remember when they first started making tools like this, and they were like, oh, we can't do it because the walls are going to be too thin. They have put design and tested, and now they can make a wall that thin and strong to get it. This goes with my tactical handle that's just a regular T handle. Awesome tool. Great for sneaking, again, through some of these factory holes, through doors, tight areas. Incredible. Really great stuff. I'm also excited to see these new micro tips that Black Plague is coming out with for exactly that. Like, it's basically the threads, and whatever the tip is, it's going to make that tool and tools like that even more versatile. So Keith, get these things out, man. You've been talking about it for like 2 or 3 shows now. We're ready. From Dent Slayer, not Dent Reaper. Let's see if we can get it right this time. These rat rods. This tool, I had heard about it a couple years ago. They're not brand new, but they are super crazy and weird looking. The idea, and TikTok, you can go check out my TikTok channel. I think when I shared this tool, it's one of my best viewed videos on TikTok. So side note, we're still live on TikTok. If you're watching, go see how this sneaks into a panel. The idea is I've got a 1/4 inch and this is 5/16. You can take like a molding off, sneak through the molding hole. The tool wraps around like this and like this. It's like one of those puzzles. And then you're up in the panel. It is amazing to me how this goofy little design, how far it will let you reach up into a panel through one of those holes without tearing up the hole and destroying it. Matt at Dent Slayer, dude, hats off for an incredible design. There's 3 pieces in this. I've got the 2-piece set with the fixed handle. There's also a Mighty Mouse. I think it's a Mighty Mouse. It is a smaller bendable version of this. And cheap. Definitely under $200 for the set of 2. Maybe like 150, 170. Literally paid for it the first day I had them at it's the video that's on my TikTok. I shared it everywhere, but TikTok is where it went the biggest. The rat rods are like rock and roll, baby. We just saved a Honda Pilot quarter panel with it 2 weeks ago. Dave in the shop, it was the first time. He's, what are these rat rods? And I'm like, here. And he was struggling, and he's like, man, I can't get on this crease. And sure enough, the rat rod was like, shoop, right up and in, all over it. Killer. All right, we're coming to the end. We did not make an hour and 30 minutes. This is definitely going to be our longest show. The Better Bar. A Better Bar. A Better Bar. By our buddy Jared Kirk out of Arizona. I think he may be in or around the Phoenix market. Anyways, it's a flat bar. It's your standard flat bar design. But you can see several 5/16, 18 holes drilled in it. So you can use this similar to another flat bar that's on the market that shall remain nameless. Also, a 5/16, 18 end here, right, that you can put a tip on there. Bendable. It's got a nice semi-polished edge here. I normally keep a piece of leather on this wrapped and taped. You can see my tape line. I just have it off to show you the whole tool. And I didn't bring it in, but he's got a collar that goes on here, and it's just a U with a thread, and you can actually infinitely, along the length of this, make a position a tool. You can also take, since we're going, right, since we're over time anyways, you can also take, I just did this on like a 70 Chevelle. If you need more reach, you can thread into the end with one of your tactical handles. So what I did on there is I needed a tip here. I was working a crease over the wheel well. I was able to sneak this in the wheel well, have my tip here, and then I've got extra oomph here, extra leverage, and I could make that reverse fulcrum push with that. Man, a Better Bar has been just a go-to tool for me. I think you can find it on his website at abetterrepair.com. Google A Better Bar, look up A Better Repair. I know he's on TikTok because Jared, thanks for commenting all the time on my stuff. I love it. But the A Better Bar has been a great tool for me. I picked it up last summer. It's a little known tool. I don't think enough people know about it. So it sort of falls in the mix of like what to look at, but I don't even know if he has them at MTE. Check him out on his website. But it's become a go-to for me. I don't leave the shop. Right in the shop, it's here all the time. It's one of the tools I take with me when I head out mobile and hit the road. We're getting there. Speaking of hitting the road, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I've got an umbrella hanging on the wall here, right, for the whole show. Let's see if we can do this. This is the Get a Grip umbrella setup. If I can find the button, there it is. So we can do this without taking myself out. The Get a Grip umbrella has been, I can't reach over there far enough to tighten it up. This umbrella, so I used a Mobile Tech shade for years, and then I was in the shop for years, and then losing a technician earlier this year, I went back out on the road. I'm like, man, I need a new umbrella. Well, I reached out to my buddy Matt at Get a Grip, and this is what we got. So it's an 82-inch umbrella. I mean, this thing is huge. I can't reach the two tips. If I stick my hand and try to go across, I can't reach the two tips. It's huge. The arm or the mount, the grip, is killer. So I want to bring that over to you and show you. I'm going to take the umbrella off so I don't hurt anybody, namely myself here. So let's get rid of this. If you've noticed, this thing has been hanging here the whole time. Guys, this is just a painted wall. This is his new, I upgraded. This is his new auto cup. This thing is freaking bulletproof. This arm, this hand, I think he holds a pretty heavy kettlebell up with it at the shows. And I've got to get a little shout out to Matt. Let me loosen this up. Didn't ask for this. It was a little surprise. Come on, let's get in there. There it is. He laser engraved. I ordered a pair of these, one for me and one for Mac. We got the Glue logo on my Get a Grip cup. Matt, that's freaking cool as all get out. This auto cup is killer. Like, auto cup is, we're going to talk about it with the Stucky here in a second. But like this, hit the button, that is suctioned down. Super hard. You saw it hanging on there for, I put it up there before we started, so we're at 1 hour and 45. So it's been hanging on there for 2 hours on a painted wall. And nothing. Incredible. USB-C rechargeable. It's got a couple different mounts up here. I may even do some cool camera mounts with this thing. Really, really cool. If it's anything like my Stucky battery or my Stucky pump that we're going to talk about here in a minute, you will need to recharge this like once a week, if that. Just a USB-C rechargeable. Get a Grip, hands down, the best. We were out in some heavy winds. I love it. Like, and that big old cover to get you in shade. Chef's kiss, Matt. Chef's kiss. And the Glue thing is pretty badass. Next up, my VIP carbon window guard. This thing, I got this off, again, not brand new. I think he may have come out with a different size or two now. Super thin. Super thin. Right, talking about those, I'm not going to be able to get that to focus. Talking about those European cars, the tighter doors for the smaller tools. This thing is super thin. It's flocked on the backside, so your felt can't roll up or anything. He left the very edge off, so you can sneak in down into those tight doors. Pretty long and hard. Like, I'm certain that that's coming through on the audio. I no longer use one of the heavy steel guards when I'm doing even laminated glass. This is so rigid that I have no fear of getting down in and getting after it. Kind of expensive for a window guard, but literally worth every penny. Peter, you hit a home run on this one, dude. Like, this is not new. That's a must-have. Like, go buy this now. Just go to VIP PDR Tools and get it. Oh, Matt's site for Get a Grip. GetAGripNow.com. The reason that one's so easy for me to remember is Dent Repair Now. See what he did there? I like it. Guys, we're in the home stretch. Running out of gas. It's 1:48, hour and 48 minutes. This is a long show. We're going to finish this and wrap it before 2. So I've got 11 minutes and 35 seconds to finish. Let's talk lights. All right. I think this is technically new in 25. This, a Limident flip light, is an upgrade to Pro PDR's light back in the day. This will allow you to fix deep dents so much faster and so much cleaner. Like, it literally will change your game on how you fix that stuff. I just did a video with this light from my buddy Slava, born.2.slav on TikTok. What's up, TikTok? You can see a quick how-to video on this. Amazing. They've been out for a year, so let's call it like, kind of, if you haven't been around, you need to go see it. But it is an absolute must-have. I've got several of these. Do not leave the shop without it. Magnetic base to stick to, steel. Also, it comes with a suction cup. So if you're going to work on aluminum and you need that, magnet suction cup to here, power suction cup right onto the car, and you can still get in. This thing is phenomenal. And a little flashlight, in case you need a flashlight. Good to have. USB-C rechargeable. AnsonPDR.com for that. While we're on the Anson Illumident kick, I just got this light at our Dents for Kids. Biggs was in. He brought like the first 6 available in the country. It is the new Illumident mini light. So I believe this is 20. Yeah. 20-inch light, 6 strips. I didn't bring the Milwaukee battery back. Auto cup, super bright. Actually, I'm really a go-to Stucky guy, but these lights I think are just a little bit brighter than this. So if you're stuck outside and working, I lied, I do have a battery. If you're stuck outside and working, this could be an option for you. Now, I'm not dogging Illumident by any stretch of the imagination, and there's a ton of Illumident fans out there. For me, this is a little heavy, but right with that big battery, it's going to be heavy, period. I personally do not have this spinal cord dialed in yet. I'm working on it, and it's cool that it's adjustable, but I'm not there yet. I'm thinking about putting this light on a stand and being like a mini Dording light. A little heavier than I like. But let's talk about the features. So the brightness, let's see, LED is on. Right, so we've got cool, warm, and we've got 6 strips of brightness. The camera is not going to keep up with that, but I promise you, this beam is 6 strips. There we go, there's 3 strips. Incredibly bright. I think this may be the brightest. So many switches. There we go. This may be the brightest light on the market today. Incredibly bright. Very similar, they call it the X Factors. His new halides. This body build, super, super tough. It looks like an injection molded plastic. Incredibly strong, no twist. I've dropped it a couple of times. It's amazing. Auto cup, right? So the thing suction down. It's not going to come off. I dig it. I even had a little flicker issue. James Lee, right? Illumident, standing up the way they stand up. I messaged him literally back in minutes. He's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. You got one of the first ones. It missed QC. And there was just a slight little issue inside here. Told me exactly how to fix it. It was literally like a 60-second fix and we were good. Also, I'm certain that if I would have needed to send it back, he would have taken it back in a heartbeat. The new mini Illumident light. In fact, I think Biggs sold 8 or 10 of these. Such a big hit, especially with the Illumident portable guys. This is like the Cadillac of mini lights as far as the Illumident brand goes. This thing is awesome and bright. I'm telling you, so bright that I was out working with Mac. I didn't even pull my umbrella out because I could see so well with this. I didn't need the shade from that. And again, super, super good build. And little bonus, right? The USB, you can charge your phone with it if you need to turn your USB on. Or if you need to charge your phone out in the field. Milwaukee, Makita, or DeWalt. Pick your poison. Killer light. And also in the shop, Mac commandeered my Stucky light. I've been doing most of my shop repairs with the X Factor halide. Love the build. Love the sharp, crispy lines. I've even been playing with the, it's not a Medusa setup anymore, but I've got the adapter from Anson where I can take my Milwaukee light and plug it into there and run my X Factor off of a Milwaukee instead of the big batteries. It's good stuff. Tools have come such a long, long way over my career, let alone some of the original guys. Killer. Keep it up. Keep it up. My go-to portable light. Sorry, James. Great light. Great build. is my Stucky. It's so light and so nimble. 18 inches. It's got the silicone cover on it, right, so you're not scratching the car. Mounted on the end, mounted in the middle. Either one works. Same thing here, right? I've got 6 strips, all the same. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 strips on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 strips on this one. You can build out this way or reverse the lights, or I guess you could do all of one color if you wanted. Runs on, now, like this is a complaint from some people, is that it runs on a proprietary battery. I get such great battery life out of these that I don't care. And I think we have 4 or 5. I've got Stucky lights coming out of my ears in the shop. These little mini batteries work out spectacular. You can charge it by itself or plug the light in and charge. The upgrade. So this is my must-have door ding light. Like if I'm picking one, this is where I'm going. It's light, it's fast, it's nimble. The upgrade this year is the auto cup. So very similar build to Matt's, but this is the smaller one. Power it on. It boots up. Hit the button and it's ready to go. And we're on. Right, we're holding, it's there. You're good to go. No more worrying about pumping your light up or anything. Everything suction cup in my world is switching over to these auto cups. And same thing. Totally drew a blank. I don't know where we were going with that. Doesn't matter. Anyways, these auto cups from Get a Grip, the auto cup from James Lee, and he has a big round one as well. I've got one of his claws with the auto cup. This little one from Stucky, I think Stucky has the bigger one also. Man, no more running over and keeping an eye on your pump and things falling off. That auto cup is absolute money. I know Carl is also testing out a new, it's like a pump replacement for the Woods, for the, like replace the pump on your Woods cup. Curious to see where that goes. 1 hour, 57 minutes and 33 seconds. I made it, taking a quick glance around. I don't think there are any more tools that I brought back with me. Oh, one. I'll go fast. Not from any of the PDR companies, but from Viper. So I've got the Viper chair. Don't sit in one because you will buy one. It's worth every penny. But they caught me on a sale, and they had this little foldable creeper. Now I've been a big fan of, I've got like a vinyl one from Harbor Freight. One, it smells pretty bad. You gotta like let it bake out in the sun. But it works great. I've used it for years, but they're hit and miss. And it's like, you know, cheap China stuff. When I saw this on the Viper site, I was like, dude, I think I might have to have it. Made in the USA. So we got a made in the USA tag. Unfolds like this, right? So you can double it up, triple it up. You can use it as a kneeler. You can use it as a creeper. This thing, I picked it up, I don't know, a few months ago. Awesome. And I think they're only like $60, which is not, of all the tools we looked at today, short of some tips, I don't think you're buying anything for $60. But this made in the USA Viper foldable creeper, awesome. I'm excited to see how well it holds up. I don't see any wear at all in the couple of months I've been using it. In fact, I loved it so much that I bought all of my technicians one for Christmas. So that's it. Did I make it? Yes. 50 seconds left to go. If you're still with me, man, hats off. Thank you for sticking around. I hope this gave you some insight into some of the tools that I use all the time, some of the new tools that are out, making it a little easier for you to decide whether to pull the trigger or not. Happy New Year. That is in just a couple of days after you're watching this. I think level up is a go. Keep an eye out. Details to follow. MTE is coming up. I will see you next year. Haha, there's the dad joke. All right. I'm going to let it run right till, right to 2 hours exactly. Finish. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, thanks so much. See ya.